Do you have any idea where your church's money goes when it's sent to the Southern Baptist Cooperative Program? Well, I want us to follow money, and you might be surprised. Now, here's an image to help us. Here's the 2024 SBC budget of over $192 million. Now, 50.4% of that goes to the International Mission Board. Almost 23% of that goes to the North American Mission Board. And when we think about it, that's over 73% being invested directly into the mission field. That is 47,000 plus Southern Baptist churches cooperating because we can do more together than we can alone. And here's the thing, all this begins with you and your church to impact Alabama and to impact the world with the gospel. Now, to see this better, I want us to follow the money. Every dollar that's sent from your church to the cooperative program is allocated based on the budget approved by your messengers that you send to the conventions. So the gift that leaves your church will be sent to the Alabama State Board of Missions. Now, here is another slide of what that envelope looks like that your church probably uses. Now, you see, your church decides how much to give to each one of these, including to your Bethel Baptist Association. And if you're not sure how your church is giving, well, I want you to ask someone there and find out. Now, going back to this slide, so if we look at our state convention, it has designated a 50-50 split for cooperative funds. And that means, for example, we're going to use this figure here of $100. $50 of every $100 will stay right here in the state of Alabama to do mission work at home. And $50 will go to the national level. So let's break down that 50 that goes to the national level. About $25 of that is going to go to the International Mission Board. That's going to fund more than 4,000 missionaries worldwide. In addition to the annual Lottie Moon Christmas offering, your Southern Baptist missionaries are fully funded. About $11 of that 50 goes to the North American Mission Board. Add that in with the Annie Armstrong Easter offering, and those funds go toward missions right here in North America for church planning and for church revitalization. About $11 of that 50 is marked for the 6 Southern Baptist seminaries in the U.S. to train up new pastors and new leaders. About 82 cents is allocated to the Ethics and Religious Liberty Commission, and $1.50 covers the operating costs or overhead to get all of that done. So this is actually pretty incredible, and it's actually great news as well because the majority of money given to the cooperative program goes directly to missional purposes. It doesn't go to overhead. It doesn't go to pay administrative things. But what about that 50% that stays here in Alabama? Well, that 50% plus the designated giving to the Myers-Mallory State Offering, which is coming up here in September, all that stays right here at home. Each Alabama Baptist whose church gives through the cooperative program is supporting disaster relief. You're supporting all of our campus ministries, evangelism, church revitalization, church planning, the Alabama WMU, Alabama Baptist Children's Home, and many other great commission ministries all across the state of Alabama. So with all these challenges that every church is facing today, it comes down to this question: why should we give to the cooperative program? Well, number one, it's part of who we are, Southern Baptist. If it wasn't, we would just call ourselves Baptist. Being Southern Baptist comes with the promise that was made back in the 1920s to do your part in helping to fund over 4,000 plus missionaries on the field, our church plants in North America, our seminaries, and more. So one reason we give to the cooperative program is because we've already said we would, because we call ourselves Southern Baptist. Number two, the Great Commission is the focus, and that's the most important reason for giving to the cooperative program. It's an investment in the gospel. The thousands of missionaries we have in North America, around the world, on college campuses, are given the resources they need to stay on the field where people are that need the gospel. And then lastly, number three, one of the reasons we should give to the cooperative program is because every church has a part to play. You see, this giving allows us, as Southern Baptist churches, to pool all of our resources together so every church can make a contribution, and the effect is multiplied. Most churches couldn't send out their own missionaries, but through this giving, a church can train up and send a missionary who will then be supported in a collaborative effort with over 47,000 other churches nationwide. So here's the question: how engaged is your church in giving? When was the last time anyone looked to see what and where you are giving as a church? Are you supporting the whole range of opportunities? The cooperative program itself, Myers-Mallory State Offering, our own association, Lottie, Annie, and all these others. Ask your pastor or church leaders and make sure your church is taking advantage of the multiplication effect by joining other churches and supporting Southern Baptist missions and ministries. I mean, if we think about it, after all, we're not Southern Baptists because we live in the South or we live in Alabama. We're Southern Baptists because of our cooperative giving. That's what makes us who we are. Well, I thank you all for joining. If you've got any questions, certainly reach out to us here at the Bethel Association. Reach out to your pastor if you've got questions about your church's giving. And you guys have a great and blessed day. Bye-bye.